Hey guys.
everyone! How are you guys doing today?
They're good.
They're good.
I'm just gonna assume they're good. All
Okay,
right.
so today we're going to be covering people who fake their own deaths. And we're pretty excited. We got like a lot of stories actually, so this might run over our usual hour and a half. Some of
And
them are
they're
pretty
epic.
short. They're all really epic. We found way too many interesting ones.
It's ridiculous.
We're going to be covering the good, the bad, and the hilarious. There,
Definitely the hilarious.
there are a lot of hilarious fake death stories. But before we get into all that, I do want to say we had our goal, and I don't know if you noticed on the top left, but before we even started streaming, we hit our goal. So I think that calls for a little moment of
Yeah,
celebration. So if you
we
got some
weren't even
hype
expecting
emotes,
it.
we weren't. If you got hype emotes, use them. So
Join our dark army.
Thank you guys. You guys are freaking awesome.
As we conquer this land.
Yes.
Take over each and every soul of the
You guys are
living.
fabulous. Thank you so much.
we brought the party balloons to celebrate with you guys.
Oh man, this is crazy.
Yes, we're so happy. We just started like a month and
Yeah,
a half ago.
yeah. It feels like literally weeks ago though, like just a few weeks, couple at most, and I'm dying.
Yes.
So
And especially Summer, she's new to Twitch. I got her on here saying like I think you'll enjoy this better than YouTube for streaming, and yeah, it's
and
just
I'm
been so.
petrified of usually doing anything. So hi guys.
Yes, so thank you so much for helping us reach our goal. A big thank you to our community, and I
You
hope you
guys are
keep growing with
freaking
us.
fabulous. All right.
But
I
yeah,
love freaking, I don't know. Rusty
everything.
spoons is all I can think of. And I'm okay. Moving on.
Yeah, not much, Alistair. Just saying hello, and we just said we hit our 50
Join our dark army
followers.
of evil
You guys are
Canterians.
epic.
As we conquer this
Yes!
land. And take over
Salad fingers.
Yes, we're very happy. So we're going to start off the show. It's going to be us, and you are going to see a reemergence of the smart kitty.
She's here to stay.
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes?
You
Good.
love
All
her,
right.
you hate her. She's our own
It
little
doesn't
chitty
matter.
moon.
She's
Oh,
the
thank you
mascot.
for the follow.
Oh, yay!
You're the best hardwired fire. Yay!
I like the name. All right.
So we're going to start off with Elizabeth Greenwood, which was actually one of my favorites I found today.
This is going to be good.
I don't know if you heard her story before Summer, but it's pretty great. Oh, and everyone, if there's anything out of sound, like sound too loud, sound too low, let us know and we'll adjust it, okay?
Yes, please.
Okay, so for Elizabeth Greenwood, she was pretty much a former student in massive student debt, and her friend suggested to her that she should fake her own death.
Oh my God.
You read
Sorry, go
about
ahead.
this? It's great.
Oh, it's fucking fabulous. Go ahead.
So she began collecting proof of death. Uh, she died in a fiery inferno of a car crash in Manila, and she collected the proper evidence such as a death certificate, police report, and witness testimony. At some point in her research, she decided her debt isn't so bad compared to other people's issues, especially since she has no plans to fully pay it off anyways. So instead of following through with her plans, she wrote a book called Playing Dead. She's quoted as saying, "I'm dead on paper, but still kicking in Brooklyn."
Could you imagine just like seriously considering it?
See, I'm a huge
I
fan
kind
of.
of relate. No.
Well, everyone, I think a lot of people have curiosities about it. But the thing that gets me about this one is like, I love following different marketing strategies. And I honestly feel this is one of them where she's just like, I want to write a book. I'm going to pretend
Yes.
like I was going to fake my own death because I'm doing the research
Oh,
anyways on how easy it is. And
nice.
there you go.
Fabulous. There you go.
She has her death certificate. I mean, hell, next time I'm out in the Philippines, I think I might go get a
Just
death
gonna go,
certificate just
yeah,
for
just
fun.
drop by. Just, yeah, there you go.
I won't do any of the life insurance stuff, just for fun to keep in the
And
house.
my cause of death is definitely gonna be fucking murder. Like it's gonna be some gruesome, horrific murder.
Oh my gosh.
Just saying.
I won't believe it when you die, Summer. Now I have another
Oh,
quick one that's pretty ridiculous. So this one is Corey Taylor. Now, in 2017, to get out of a termination fee with Verizon, he decided to mock up a
what?
fake death certificate and asked a friend to fax it to Verizon.
What?
Right? He figured he had nothing to lose and it was the only way to get out of that fee. So
Everything to gain, I guess.
everything to gain, right? So and sure enough, they figured it out, but he didn't have anything to lose. They just made him pay that fee anyways. So
Wow. That's amazing. That is truly beautiful.
like I can get
God,
it.
I
I've
can't.
argued with Verizon before with like some of the phone companies and like
You're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna fake my death.
I would do it just for lols. Like it's amazing.
I mean, not gonna lie, it is. It is. I've gotten many laughs from this entire thing. Researching it has been probably the most epic experience.
Now we're going to go into the chunkier story of the night.
Oh,
So I apologize in advance if I get some wires crossed. Oh, do you need a few more minutes, Summer? I can play another story first.
no.
Okay.
It's a heavy story though. It's a little heavy. It's a little heavier than like not super heavy, but it's not as light as funny. All right,
Actually, oh,
so
hold on before we go into that chunk. Yes, apparently faking your own death is technically illegal as what was it Elizabeth was stating? What was her name? Let me
yes,
double
I think
check.
it is. I think it
Elizabeth
is. Yeah,
Greenwood.
like
Yeah, when I was researching her, she said it's perfectly legal to fake your death. It's the insurance claiming that causes the issues apparently.
yeah, if you just want to drop off the map, go for it, I guess. Like, don't be a cunt and just abandon everybody, but like, yeah. All right. So, Smart Kitty is gonna be here too, guys, for this.
Hi guys!
So, I went through a lot of stories for tonight's stream. I picked like probably 5 or 6 at least, and then discarded them because I don't know. There's just so many to pick from. I wanted to make sure I picked an interesting thing. So, Ramon Sosa, I have no idea if I'm saying that the right way, guys. Don't judge me. Was a
Sasa!
talented boxer. There you go. Aw. Thank you, Smart Kitty. He was a talented boxer from a young age, going pro at just 17 years old, and not long after he retired to train others. Like, I guess super young he did this. He settled down, got married to his first wife, had 3 kids, and he opened his first boxing gym in Houston. He's hugely successful, and is adored by the community, and had rubbed elbows with people like Hugh Hefner and Mike Tyson, which is epic, not gonna lie, and was making more than enough to live comfortably by traveling across the country training boxers. But in 2000, his first marriage fell apart, and his career was thriving, so he decided in 2007 he was ready to hit the dating scene again. At some point, he met Mundo? It's something. It's a name. Who was a young man that was trying to get out of the gang, and Ramon bonded with Mundo pretty quickly. Did what he could to help him make it, and trained him in boxing. So Mundo will be important later, so keep him in mind, guys. 2 years after meeting him, a friend of Raymond's of Ramon's told him about a nice club where they played live music and where beautiful women were everywhere. So looking for love, Raymond checked the place out. And
Wait, Summer, let me cut
so
in. I want to tell this part.
Smirking?
So at the club, Ramon saw Maria Dolores
Okay, hello.
Dorantes, known to her friends as Lulu. She's there. He
Smart
watched her
kitty?
dance from across the club and was completely smitten.
You know,
At one point,
you gonna
she
jump
walked
in?
by him and stepped on his
She's
foot.
talking, you don't hear her.
She later claimed this was intentional on her part.
What?
They began chatting and dancing, and as Ramon said, he was under her spell.
Go ahead.
Eventually, despite Lulu not getting along with Ramon's children, the couple decided to get married. Now, his children didn't attend the wedding. It was clear to them Lulu wanted no part in being a stepmother, and in fact wanted no relationship with them at all. She detested when Ramon wanted to spend time with them or give them money. Ramon, however, embraced her children fully, even allowing her son to use his car. Okay, Summer. I think Smart Kitty's done talking. If you guys
Are
didn't
we
hear
good?
Smart Kitty, let me know. I might have had the volume a little weird on that one.
Yeah, totally let us know because I have no idea right now. I I'm trying my best, guys. So, Ramon and Lulu opened another gym together, and they became sort of a power couple. And many people admired their perfect lifestyle that seemed so fabulous. But we're not here for a perfect lifestyle, so let's get to this stuff. Lulu did embrace one person, and that was Mundo. Both him and, or her, sorry, good lord, her and Ramon treated Mundo as a son. But in 2015, everything started going downhill. Lulu began talking to her friends about how Ramon would beat her, demand sex from her, take it, and was generally rather abusive towards her. And she would tell this to everyone, like everyone. His friends, her friends, family. She even like called up sponsors. He had a nonprofit organization, and she called up sponsors of it and told them that he was embezzling money, which got the nonprofit shut down, which is pretty scummy. So I don't know. All of this led up to her hiring a lawyer and filing for divorce. And around this time, she called the police on Ramon, accusing him of punching her son. There was a video taken from Lulu's son's phone that shows Ramon knock the phone out of his hand as he's demanding Ramon get out of his car. And I guess it's the car that Ramon let him use. So he claims he didn't punch the kid, that he just knocked the phone out of his hands, and that if he had punched the kid, being a former boxer, the kid probably wouldn't have been standing. I don't know how accurate that is. Just quoting what he said. So Lulu filed a restraining order, and that stopped Ramon from going to the gym that he owned with her or to his house. And so he just stayed, I guess, at a different house and just went back to work at his other gym. And she wanted more, though. Mundo overheard her talking one day to her daughter, her 16-year-old daughter, about a gym member of theirs that had a reputation for taking care of problems. So he didn't confront her at that point, but the next day he came back and he asked her what she meant. And she said that she was tired of everything, that this is all too much, she'd wish that he'd just disappear. And so he asked her what she meant by disappear, and he used his thumb and pointer finger to form a gun. She nodded, and so Mundo told her that he had some friends named Paco and John Boy that were members of his gang, that they could take care of it. So she fell for that, and he immediately left and told Ramon exactly what happened. And after all, this is the guy that saved him and mentored him and everything. So they went to the police, and the police were like, nah, that's not enough. You can't just come here like, this lady said some mean things. We need proof or something. So they were like, okay, let's do this. And they started investigating it themselves.
Okay, so this is where Kitty comes back in, right?
Yes. I go for it.
Okay, guys, this is pretty cool. So what Mundo did was he bought 2 phones, gave one to Lulu, and had Ramon keep the other. He told Lulu she could use the phone to keep in touch with his buddy Paco. Lulu had no idea that her husband was on the other end of the line. So she starts texting both Paco and Mundo to arrange a hit. Actually, here's a highlight of one such exchange with Mundo, who'd begun recording their conversations for evidence. Lulu says, Mundo? Mundo says, what's up, Lulu? They just want to know based on what you're offering, to know you are serious that you want him killed. Lulu says, yes, definitely. That they do it? they should do it. I don't give a damn. That I'm going to pay? I'm going to pay. You could see that she clearly had no qualms at all. She knew it needed to be done, because if Ramon died before the divorce was finalized, she would get everything. The house, cars, gyms, all of it.
Okay, Smart Kitty.
Nice, thank you. All right. Mundo kept Lulu talking and kept her updated on the progress because he was afraid that if he didn't, she'd get impatient and go hire somebody else and possibly even put a hit out on him. Like, who knows? And Ramon was just as paranoid and had begun carrying a gun with him everywhere, even kept it under his pillow loaded, and he recalls, like, being at stoplights and holding it between his legs because he was so scared that she would put a hit out on him, for real. And so, at some point, Lulu wired Paco a couple $100 to get a gun, and that's when they decided they had enough to go to the police. And luckily, this time, they agreed. So, the police opened an investigation, and they wanted to keep Mundo involved because they didn't want to scare Lulu off. Because changing stuff like that would give her, a reason to run. However, they gave Paco a face, and they got an undercover cop that looked rather convincing, and everything got pretty real at that point. Mundo arranged a meeting between Lulu and the cop, and Lulu agreed to meet at night in a parking lot not far from the gym, because why not? And there, she brought watches, jewelry, and, as down payment, and then she went and withdrew an initial $500 from the ATM just to make sure she was good. So, Smart Kitty?
As soon as the money exchanged hands, the police could have actually arrested her right there. However, the police knew from experience that a jury would pity an allegedly battered wife, especially one that was attractive and had children. So they wanted more evidence. They needed to show just how heartless she was. So they tell Ramon that he has to play dead, and then they made him look the part. Using makeup from the crisis preparation department that was used for training drills, and mixing corn syrup with food coloring, they made Ramon look like a dead man. Which is amazing considering they were learning tips from YouTube tutorials and following real-life crime scene examples from photos.
And now we actually have a video of them doing the preparation. It's pretty funny.
Never filed against him. To prove Lulu wanted Ramon killed, police needed his help in an elaborate undercover sting operation, where Ramon would literally have to play dead.
Yeah, we'll take a picture of you. Dead.
Since I had a little hiccup there.
Never filed against him.
There we go.
To prove Lulu wanted Ramon killed, police needed his help in an elaborate undercover sting operation, where Ramon would literally have to play dead.
Yeah, we're gonna take a picture of you. Dead. Like in a grave.
Police had to give Ramon an authentic-looking bullet wound.
We went to YouTube.
The results? No laughing matter, as Ramon went the extra mile and 6 feet under to catch Lulu.
They had me lay down with my hands behind my back, my head turned. I'm the only person alive
I
that
love
has
that
ever
I've
walked
done this
out of his
myself
own
for
grave.
Halloween. I love it so much.
But yeah, so that's their investigation video.
Like, I love how the officer just, laughed about learning from teenage girls on YouTube how to do makeup.
I mean, that's where it is now. It's anything you want to learn, you got YouTube available.
Yeah, pretty much. My daughter learns things on there, like how to draw. She's actually amazingly good at drawing, and I'm envious. She's 9, and she's fantastic. So there you go.
Okay, so what happens next summer?
They dug a grave on a stretch of road owned by the county so that no one would stumble upon the faked crime scene. And they transported Ramon, who was lying flat in the back so as to not be seen, to the scene and dumped more fake blood and all that stuff you guys saw. And then another meeting was arranged with Lulu in the same parking lot again, and this time the undercover cop was filming it so he could show just how cold Lulu really was.
Oh, Let's get Smart
Yep.
Kitty back.
So, how pretty. Where are you going?
My home?
It's done. Everything good. We got him today, this morning.
Where was it? Tell me.
Heading out from the apartments.
Of the apartments?
Going to work.
That's good then. Lulu pays him. I have 1,000.
The dumbass fought.
He fought?
He fought.
Lulu laughs.
Ramon asked, "What's going on?"
For his children?
"Don't kill me. Don't fuck me up. Why are you doing this to me?"
Stupid. For hitting me, dumbass.
He would hit you?
Yes, very disgraceful. He won't wake up anymore, Lulu laughs.
Thank you, Smart Kitty.
All right. With this and the over $3,000 that was exchanged, cops decided it was time. So the next morning, they showed up to the gym where she was working, and the gym was already open, so everybody was there. And they acted like they were there to do a wellness check because Ramon's coworkers called the police saying he hadn't shown up. We have a clip.
We have an awesome clip of this one.
This epic, guys. I love it. I'm sorry.
My paperwork here.
That's okay.
I
never knew there was a boxing gym here. This is nice.
Yes, we have
It's
5
beautiful.
years now here.
Okay. We got a call from, is it okay to talk in front of them?
This is my daughter and my mother.
Okay. Like I said, I'm a detective with the constable office. I got a call today from that apparently Mr. Sosa hasn't been at work today.
That's what they told me. I received a call today from Byron, and that's his friend
His friend at work?
at work.
Okay.
He called me today and he asked me for some information if I have talked to him. I said, well, no, I haven't seen him. I'm going to talk to him. We're going through divorce.
When's the last time you saw Mr. Sosa?
We saw him on Wednesday 15th, the last day.
That's the last time you saw him?
That's the last time I saw him, my mom, and my daughter. I'm here from 4 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and then I go home, I take a nap, I shower, and then come back around 3. That's when we sometimes see him.
So he hasn't contacted you in the last 24 hours?
No.
When's the last time you checked your phone to make sure you don't have a missed call? Or are you like most people, you check your phone a lot?
Oh no, yeah, I have my phone with me all the time.
Okay, Miss Sosa, stand up, please. You're under arrest.
Right?
Okay, you're under arrest.
Why?
Okay, ma'am, it's okay. Stay back. We have a warrant.
I need
True.
to talk with my háblale por favor. Ya, háblale por favor a Julio.
That girl has a good poker face.
Right? She reminds me of Gabrielle from Desperate Housewives. I don't know if anybody here has seen that or if I'm just like being ridiculous, but literally, she's Gabrielle from Desperate Housewives. Just saying. So, there you go, guys. This dude had a little help faking his death, so he didn't do it entirely on his own, and maybe he had a good reason, unlike some others I came across, but I felt it was a rather interesting story to add. Oh, and the assault charges against Ramon that Lulu brought against him were dropped, and the divorce was finalized, and Lulu got nothing except 20 years in prison.
Woo!
Woo! Happy ending! It's fabulous.
Can you undo a fake death? Well, I guess he didn't have the proper paperwork. Since it was police set up, they just told her he was dead. Or actually, they didn't even tell her he was dead. They just approached her saying "Oh, he's missing," and she knew.
And then she was just like, "Fuck that." She didn't care at all.
Yeah. So that's like our biggest story of the night. So that one was like pretty hefty. Crazy, crazy amount of evidence.
I love it. I had to. It was like so good.
She fell for the obvious trap. Yeah. She should have texted them. Are you a cop?
I'm just like, yeah, you don't, not saying text them. I'm just saying don't hire hitmen. Like I'm just saying, guys, it's never not a cop. I don't know how many times it's always a cop. It's always a cop.
Well, actually, later on, I have a story that is a hitman story that
Oh,
isn't a
shit.
cop.
Damn.
And it gets even more crazy. So
I retract my statement.
sometimes it's a cop.
Sometimes it's a cop. Oh man.
But yeah.
That was beautiful. All right.
So you know what? We're going to actually have Smart Kitty here tell their own story for John Stonehouse.
Oh my god.
Let's see. There's the pictures. The hitman who hired a hitman who hired a hitman who hired a hitman whose niche was on them. And they all got prison as a funny story.
Yay.
99% of the time it's a cop. That 1% costs you a fortune. Okay, so Summer, I know you can't hear Smart Kitty talking, so I'll let you know when she's done, okay? So here we go on the next story.
Thank you.
But that's not the only reason this guy is interesting. He was also a British politician who was later revealed in 2012 as a Czech spy.
Oh, did something go wrong there? I think something went wrong with Smart Kitty.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Smart Kitty, why?
That's fine. Well, if Smart Kitty is having a little talking issue, I'm going to cover that story then.
Oh, snap.
So let's say goodbye to Smart Kitty for today, because Smart Kitty is having some issues today.
Smart Kitty is just like, I'm done, guys. This is a mess.
Night, Smart Kitty.
Night.
Okay, so the story goes, in 1974, John Stonehouse went missing while swimming on a Miami beach. It was assumed he was killed by a shark. Now, he went by the alias Clive Milden and hid out in New Zealand. While transferring money to a bank account, the teller became suspicious and informed the authorities. Originally, the police thought Clive Milden was actually Lord Letchin, who had disappeared 2 weeks earlier than John Stonehouse, because, you know, people always going missing, right? They even demanded he pull down his pants in search of a 6-inch scar on the inside of his right thigh that Lord Letchin had. But that's not the only reason this guy is interesting. He was actually also a British politician, and it was revealed in 2012 he was a Czech spy as well.
Yes, I heard about this.
Pretty nuts. So this guy was pretty much a politician, faked his death, and then revealed as a spy. And it just makes me feel like, what am I doing with my life? Like,
if I recall correctly, he was like allowed to stay in his position, or I can't remember. Like, it was weird. The whole thing was weird.
Well, they figured it out in 2012, and he had already passed away, and so and there wasn't even enough evidence. There was just someone outed him while they were researching other things, and so Margaret Thatcher decided to just drop it. She's like, whatever.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was John Stonehouse, and I love that they actually pulled down his pants. Invasive much?
Well, scars are very identifiable.
Right. Okay, so the next story is Victoria Morrison. In 2017, a Nevada woman claimed her 10-year-old son was dying of leukemia. While he was being seen in a hospital, it was actually just a treatable childhood illness. Morrison used used the medical evidence to embellish the condition, and she convinced the schools, the public, and even the child that he was terminally ill. He ended up missing
Oh my
months
God.
of school. Yeah, how terrible, right? To tell your
I
kid
this
they're
like reminds
dying.
me of Gypsy Rose shit, and I hate it so much.
It's pretty much like that, right? Because
God, I hate it.
she began collecting what I call sick kid freebies.
Oh
such
my
as-
fucking God. I'm so mad. I'm mad. Sorry guys, I'm mad.
Such as helicopter rides, gift cards, and cash. I think like
This detestable
2,000.
bitch.
Yeah, right. I think 2,000 of those dollars on the gift cards was actually from the teacher, the son's teacher.
Are you fucking
Isn't
you mean
that
teachers that don't get
sad?
paid worth a day? I'm so mad right now.
I think if anyone's allowed to be mad, it's that teacher and the
Oh
kid.
my God. This bitch. Look at her. I'm so mad. Fucking can't.
No, she ended up starting
Oh
a GoFundMe, and she ended up raising another $2,000, and this is within like
Oh,
a
fuck you.
month. So within the month, she gets all this awesome stuff, and then she claims the boy actually passed away, and she held a fake
Oh,
memorial
fuck off.
service. It's
Fuck.
brutal.
Dude, what the is this?
She did end up in jail. I think it was like 8 months or something, but still, like she did
I
get
hate
jailed.
8 months. I can't even with this. I'm so mad. I hate this woman. Okay, let's.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then GoFundMe did refund the donations for that one. I don't know if they took it away from her bank account, if she had to pay it back, but they probably just refunded it.
How the fuck can you do that? Like, I don't know, man. Come on. The kid, the teacher that doesn't get paid worth of fucking crap. Like, everything. All of this is shit. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on.
And yeah, it's live streams. We definitely, you gotta be careful of those GoFundMes. They say it's only like, it's less than 1% of their postings, but that's the ones found out.
It sucks because people GoFunded me a freaking laptop and mic and stuff to do things on my first channel, and so, like, I hate that it's abused so much.
Yeah. Well, I kind of think of it like this, where there's always stuff pulling at your funds, right, in life. Like, you know, your cell phone bill is a great example. You're going to have all the reasonable fees, and then you're going to have the occasional BS fee. And I think
Yeah.
with donations, you're going to have a little bit of a BS fee in there. That's going to go to the wrong thing. But you don't want to take too much
It
away from
happens
the real
so
ones.
much. It really does. It happens so much on GoFundMe.
It does. It's pretty sad, but they're going to keep fighting, and hopefully they'll figure it out in the long run, and people will be a little cautious.
Yeah, I freaking hope so.
Yeah. Now let's
All right.
The next one is, oh, this one's good. This one's a good one. It's the promposal. Now you might be
Oh my
thinking,
God.
how could there be a promposal in this? Well, I give you the award for the best and worst boyfriend of 2018.
Promposal. What the fuck? Yeah. Oh, God.
You're so annoying! I hate you! I didn't know if this was going to be that good of an idea. Yes! You're so annoying.
Let me see the sign. Oh, Kaya, honey, I'm sorry. We tried to calm you down. We tried.
He's well doing the crayon. He decided that's the best way
I love chat.
Richard, let me see you.
I look terrible right now.
Oh, man.
Well, you
So I
want
have
a big
to ask
prom
everyone?
person, so you go.
I didn't want
Hey, bud, it's nasty.
Or
I
her
would've said
ass.
yes
When I
because
heard you talking on the phone last night, I knew
I'm
this
so
was
into
coming, but I
crazy shit.
can't
I'd be like,
interject
yeah.
in your phone conversation.
Why not?
Oh, snap.
Summer,
Clearly you
I'm
know my
worried for
interests.
you.
Clearly he knows my interests.
All right, thank y'all, man.
Hey,
Not cool.
okay.
Can
you
I
okay
get cleaned
now?
up first? Or...
I got one better. Y'all think this is bad. Y'all
Like
are not
this?
prepared.
Yes, me too.
For what
We
you're
have
talking about.
someone who ones up this. Let's see. What was it? What year was this one? Next one?
What year? 2012.
Jeez. Let's see. You want to introduce it then? Before I play the video?
So it's a really short one, guys. It says, "This is Alexei Bykov is a wealthy Russian businessman, and in September of 2012, he decided to show just how wealthy and insane he really is. Alexei wanted to propose to the love of his life and make a point as well, in his words, not mine. And instead of being a normal person, he faked his death because that's what you do. You know, he hired a director, a writer, a producer, and a stuntman to create the most convincing death. And then he had makeup artists make him look gory. He hired police, an ambulance, and even had a crashed car at the scene. Like, this dude went all out. I'm just saying. His girlfriend, Irina, showed up at the scene as Alexei had called her and asked her to meet him there earlier. They were going to meet at this place. And she goes there, and she sees the crashed car and the police and the ambulance and his bloody body on the ground. And so she just, like, walks off crying uncontrollably, you know, totally cool. And then he comes strolling out from behind the ambulance with a bouquet and a balloon in his hand, and everything's fine. And she didn't even, like, register at first that this was happening. She just kept crying, and she pushed it away and cried, and then she freaked out, and there were sparklers, and she still didn't really get what was going on, because, come on, guys. And then finally, I guess it clicked, and he popped the question, and she said yes. And there you go. Creative, very creative, I guess.
I mean, moments like this, it definitely puts the question of, can I live without this person?
Oh, Lord Jesus.
But yeah, here's the beautiful video that goes with it.
I'm so ready for this. I could not find it. I'm so
Что-то в машине сказал, мы звука не записали твоего разговора. Стас, все, убегай туда, оттуда прибежишь. Все, ты камеру дальше, дальнюю включил? Дальнюю камеру включил? Все, подъезжает уже. Он подъезжал, скоро лезет. Отсюда снимаем.
Подожди вместе!
And can we take a moment to appreciate how Summer labeled this in her notes? Cute story, kinda.
She said yes. She said yes, right?
She did.
She said yes. That's all that matters. I mean, come on. I want to say, though, that definitely didn't look like what he described it as. Like, oh, she just wouldn't register. No, it looked like she registered and she hated you, bro. Just saying. It looked like she was going to punch you in the face.
Yeah, that's a pretty brutal one. So yeah, do you know anyone who would actually say yes to that proposal, or is this another Summer would?
Yes, this is another I would.
You would.
I will say.
Oh my god.
I totally would. I love it. I do. I love it. Oh man.
I love how like Ryzen just confirmed in Russian. She did say yes. Confirmed. Yes, confirmed.
Nice.
Okay, and since we're taking a moment to cover all these fake deaths.
Yes.
I wanted to take a moment to take a moment to honor those celebrities who are now living on an island somewhere.
Yes. There's many of them.
There are. So here, let's celebrate them.
I really wish Eddie Kaufman is on an island somewhere.
They're all partying together.
All the awesome celebrities that nobody would ever want to die. How convenient.
But yeah, it's, you know, a lot of these stories, it seems like the people with the money and that don't like attention, they do end up faking their own deaths. So who knows? Maybe these guys just had enough of a team that they actually did.
Kurt Cobain, yeah, he didn't really at all like the attention, but that motherfucker's dead. All right, let's be real.
Yeah, but I still like the conspiracy theory of it, and I like that
I
they're all
know,
hanging
I
on
love
an
it.
island.
I do.
Hopefully not Epstein's island, but
My favorite Kurt Cobain theory is that Courtney Love murdered him. I'm here for it. All right.
So, yeah, okay, actually, let's sound off in the audience. What do you guys think? Do you think Courtney did it?
Yes,
or no?
please. I am here for this question.
This is the question
Because,
of all
sorry, she did it.
questions.
She definitely did that. Like, she was just like, any publicity is good publicity. And I'm all, really? All right.
She definitely lives by that like philosophy.
That's very true, yeah. Yeah. She backs it up, I guess. She definitely backs it up.
Hey, Town! Thanks for joining us. And I know I said in the chat, but thank you, Army, as well, for joining us.
Thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. Actually, thank you, Command.
Oh, I love it.
I don't consider Cobain to be that of a suicidal type, but love has been a disaster dumpster fire of 10,000 magnitudes.
She really is. I mean, oh my lord. Everything she does. Did you know that her daughter, Frances, is now with a dude that looks like Kurt Cobain? I'm just saying.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah, he looks a lot
God, it's so
like
creepy.
him.
It's so creepy.
Weird.
All right.
And like
I have a lot of Kurt Cobain. Go ahead.
I don't know if you know, but I'm a huge Smashing Pumpkin fan, and you know Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins is a bit of an egomaniac, and so it's really fun to hear him talk about the times because they were kind of in the same circle, and he said like it almost could have been me, but she was crazy, so I ditched her and she hooked up with Kurt Cobain instead.
She wanted to leech off somebody's fame. Like, she was like trying to be the next like Sid and fucking like Nancy. Like, it's not fucking happening.
Oh,
I'm
kind
sorry.
Of was. It's pretty similar to
I
Sid
guess
Nancy.
so. But you know, she didn't die. I'm just saying.
Something went
The wrong motherfucker died.
Cobain's like, I don't want you with me in the afterlife. That is really sad.
Fuck. I feel it, dude. Could you imagine having to deal with that forever? No thanks. Hard pass.
Oh, I don't know
Man.
about the Lane Staley. I didn't know that he had similar circumstances. I'll have to look into that one.
Who? What? Where? Oh.
Raisin said in the comments there's a similar one. I gotta look into it. I love those types of stories and sad.
What does Courtney Love exist? She just exists now. And I don't know. Says dumb shit from time to time. That's it.
And yeah, Billy Corgan, I believe he owns a wrestling team or he's an announcer or something. He's huge into wrestling now. I think it was on
Nice.
Joe Rogan talking about it even, if I remember right.
Joe Rogan, of course. Yes. Love it. All right. What is that?
But yeah, so we're talking about celebrities that passed away. So we're going to go on to talking about Andy Kaufman, actually, and we're going to go a little off track at times, but it's all pretty interesting.
So you guys love off track because it's interesting.
But even the off track, it's partly to know his character, which goes into why this is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
So let's see. So this is actually one of my favorite fake death rumors. In 1984, when Kaufman died of cancer, even some of Kaufman's closest friends and family members were actually convinced that it was just a show. His friends even put fuel to the fire, saying that he often talked about faking his own death. But it's unclear if this was the truth or maybe his friends share a sense of humor, you know, and just like to joke about that. So,
yeah, I can see it.
now one of his friends even wrote a book called The Truth, Finally, which claims Kaufman stated if he faked his death, he'd return in 30 years, causing ongoing theories that he's just one step away from a resurrection performance.
Fuck, how many years has it been? I don't know.
It has been 30. It has been 30. They thought he was going to pop up on the SNL
I'm sad.
Because they had a big show, and since he used to be on it, they thought he would pop up at any time, so they sat there waiting for him to pop out from behind the curtain.
I am so sad. That's the saddest shit I've ever heard in my life. But it reminds me of like Scientology when they think that L. Ron Hubbard's coming back a little bit.
Right.
He's coming back, guys. It's fine.
Now, can I just say he's the freaking cutest. So he'd often challenge his audience and split the room with anxiety-inducing comedy, only to fully unite them near the end of the show. One of the favorite ones is that at Carnegie Hall, he took the audience out afterwards for milk and cookies. It's just so cute. I'm like, best comedian
That
ever.
is really the best. I'm just like, can you be my dad? It's amazing. I'll be back to reveal OTX. Yeah, well, that's what they think, apparently. Oh, maybe.
Hey guys, I actually found this amazing quote about Kaufman's performances.
Nice. Let's hear it.
Any satisfying endings was a performance of the ultimate satisfying ending, the annihilation of the need for an ending, the neutralizing of death angst. Not only would Kaufman die so that he could be resurrected, he would have the audience participate in killing him, to grant it the joy of total forgiveness. The goal wasn't to prank audience members, which would make them mere fools, but to free them from their anxieties and transform them into their best selves. He wanted his audience to feel innocent and included, hopeful and free from fear.
Aww.
Also, a little off topic,
that's
there's
amazing.
this insane theory that Andy Kaufman is actually Donald Trump.
That's nuts.
Yeah, definitely, guys, totally.
Mia, thank you, Smart Kitty.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah, so it's... I have one last thing to reveal. Well, it's when you dig more into Kaufman's character, it's, as you saw with that quote, that's a pretty high analyzation of his comedy routine. But he's very much a one-of-a-kind type person, and I'm not surprised if he inspires some of the more modern comedians that balance real-life issues, like Louis C.K.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that were inspired by Andy Kaufman, so...
Yeah.
Like, there's an ARG freaking... I don't know if any of you know what that is, guys, sorry. An ARG alternate reality game chick that is inspired by Kaufman, so... His inspiration still lives. Yeah. I love it. It's amazing.
Actually, if anyone wants to read more about that conspiracy about Donald Trump and Andy Kaufman, it's actually a pretty fun read, and I'm going to post it in the comments. And it actually does have some evidence. It's not likely at all. But their argument is that since he usually would divide a crowd and then somehow find a way to unite them and work through a lot of their own anxieties to make some kind of peace, it's, let's hope 2020, right? But so Kaufman's not done his work yet.
It's never going to be united. It's never, ever, ever. I feel like they just actively work against each other. Fuck it. They don't care about the country. Just like, "Arr!" There we go. All right. That's my political take for the day. Moving on.
Okay, so we're going to move on to a minor story. Let's see. What's his name? Marcus Schrenker? You get to pronounce it now.
Yeah. Just a second, guys. There we go. Yeah, I guess it's Shrinker? Shrinker? I'm not quite sure, but
Words are hard.
we're going to try it.
Let's do the words command.
This one, okay, so this one's like a medium length. I tried to make it summarized, but this dude's just insane. So you guys just bear with me. He was a wealthy dude, and, you know, he also faked his death, but he's not like the proposal guy that was wholesome, sort of. This guy is just like a douche. So he owned 3 investment consulting firms, made tons of money. Dude had a $3 million home with a huge pool and 2 personal planes that he flew as a hobby. He had fuck you money, as I put it. So, pretty much. But in January 2009, all that came crashing down. He already had a reputation for being, like, crazy. He was diagnosed as bipolar. He had outbursts with his family, neighbors, investors, everybody. Like, it didn't matter. And usually, they're the ones that got the brunt of his anger. So his wife even ended up filing for divorce in December of 2008. And just a month after that, there was an investigation opened into what he was doing with the investors' money. So tons of paperwork was seized, his computers, his passport, the title to his Lexus, and over $6,000 in cash. I guess that was just lying around at the house. I don't know.
Must be nice to be him.
He probably just bathed in it. I have no idea. All right. Sorry. He was charged, his businesses were going to be screwed, and he was going to be behind bars. Suddenly, his plane crashes while he's flying to Florida from an airfield in Indiana. Okay? He sent out a fake Mayday signal when he neared Alabama, saying that the windshield imploded and there was blood everywhere. He put the autopilot on and parachuted out. Military jets that were actually trying to intercept the plane at the time said the door, like, they were trying to intercept it before it crashed, and they said the door was open and the interior was dark. And it crashed in a swamp in Florida. Investigators found it, they tracked it down, and found that the windshield was intact, like, completely. There was no blood anywhere. I mean, which is pretty damn weird, you know? So now he's on the run, and he's already had his cover blown. His fake death. Okay? And so now it's just a matter of time. He lands in Childersburg. I have no idea. I don't live in Alabama. Childersburg, Alabama. All right? 2:30 in the morning. And he stops at some random person's house and says he's been in a canoeing accident. That makes sense. And he needed help. So the random person actually took him to the police station. They actually, like, did that, which is insane. I wouldn't answer the door at 2 a.m., but whatever, I guess. And he told the police station the same thing, like, hey, I was in a canoe accident, and there you go. And they even gave them his ID, and they were like, all right. And they drove him to the hotel where he'd already booked a room. They drove him there. He'd already booked a room. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm dying. And he stayed there. And then, sorry. He'd actually driven to Alabama, like, a few days before this, and stashed some money in a motorcycle and other shit, like, presumably shit that's essential from running away from your shitty life, that kind of thing, as storage unit in Harpersville, Alabama. So he was one step ahead of them, and when they got there, he was gone. Of course. And he somehow had managed to walk the entire 6.9 miles to Harpersville.
I mean, it could
which
be
is amazing.
done.
Without being seen, like, nobody saw this dude at all. All right?
Oh, yeah, that's a little harder.
Walking. It's like, anyway. So then he gets his motorcycle and he rides the motorcycle to Quincy, Florida, where he rented a tent site for a night. He also bought some wood, a 6-pack of Bud Light Lime, which is a horrible fucking choice for a last drink. I'm sorry. Are you serious? And got access to Wi-Fi because he couldn't miss the latest news on his shenanigans. Because let's be real, that's why he did it. What do they know? Do they know where I'm at? Fuck. All right. He also used it, though, to email his friend and tell him that he'd checked into a hotel. It's totally going to throw them off, definitely. And that the crash was a misunderstanding. And he was too embarrassed to return home. Totally misunderstanding, guys. I just lied about the entire thing. It's fine. He also said he's going to soon be dead. Because, gotta be dramatic. That was the same day that the police froze his assets and his wife's assets. So no money coming in for anyone. So the local sheriff called the campground and asked if they'd seen anyone unusual. And the owner was like, well, hey, we got a dude. And he checked in, but he never checked out. Might want to look into that. So U.S. Marshals, swarmed the site and found Marcus lying in a tent, barely alive, covered in blood, coming from a slash in his wrist and a spot near his elbow. But luckily the police saved him and he was arrested, so yay! He owes buttloads of money to tons of people and served a 10-year sentence for various things, including a fake plane crash and securities fraud, but he was released after 6 years, so boo.
Jeez.
He ripped off tons of people.
It's hilarious because he got so injured in the process, and some of these stories end up that way, where they try to fake their death and they end up getting injured in the process, almost freezing to death in the forest while they're trying to hide out. And
I can't believe this guy was trying to fake his death and then straight up try to kill himself. I'm like, what the fuck? All right. God. All right, that was awful. Also, I don't know if you saw the one picture where it looks like he shaved his own head and just left patches of hair everywhere. I'm sorry.
Can't even do that right.
I was gonna make the joke about him not being able to kill himself, right? But it's all right. I'm not gonna. I felt it was a little far.
And Hardwired said, "This is probably the worst attempt at faking a death I've ever heard. How incompetent can you be?"
Right? Might as well just give them a flashing fucking arrow, here I am, guys. Come get me. Put out a fucking fake Mayday signal. They ain't gonna do anything. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Why?
Get a t-shirt saying, I faked my death, and I'm like, that was a stupid t-shirt.
I love how they show his little cell with his little crabby toilet. I feel no sympathy for this dude. Come on.
Well, it's funny. I researched for one of the later pieces of this, officials how to fake your death and stuff, and they said if you have it's the smart criminals crime, because if you have a little bit of smarts, you can get away with it. And what does that say about this guy, right?
Oh my god, that's
no
tragic.
Little bit.
Oh my
There's no
god.
little bit there.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. That's pretty sad. Now, we have a bit of a goofy new segment to add today. And it's called Mad Libs. So you are going to help us write our own little fake death story.
Yay!
So I'm going to go with whoever, in the future I'm going to set up polls if we do this again. But for now, I'm going to take whoever types the answer first. So how it works is I give you a certain category, like a color or a number, and you type an answer. And we just put into the Mad Lib pocket. So
let's do this.
The first one is a person.
Name a person, guys.
Okay, we got a Patrick here.
Patrick.
Next category is a death. So ways someone would die. Okay, plane crash. You're on this live stream. Okay, now a location, a place. plane crash was fresh in the minds, eh?
Right?
Florida, that's a good area for a story
Florida
like
man.
this.
Florida man.
An
He's here.
object.
His name's Patrick.
Okay, baseball bat, and then a number. Nine, and then a family member. And then we'll have our Mad Lib. Darko, do tell.
Oh yes, I'm here for any story that's fucked.
We might have read it. Who knows? There's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. We may have read it.
Molly.
I love that I didn't even know that I'd read some of the things you looked into.
A
Molly,
military woman got shot twice in the back of the head.
The fuck?
Claimed to be a suicide by the military.
Wow, not a
That's
shocker.
not a fake death.
I've heard some stories. I've heard some stories of supposed suicides. Like the MK guy or not the MK, what the fuck am I doing? MI dude who is MK Ultra, man. Alright. The MI dude.
You're programmed to say that.
Oh god, no. Oh no.
The Scientologist got to you.
There's an MI guy fucking that, like, supposedly stripped himself naked, padlocked himself in a duffel bag in a bathtub, and killed himself. And I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Darko's listing that exact one off. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's yeah. The fuck? I don't understand.
That's
how anybody
probably
could
a
be like,
story
yeah,
in
sure.
itself. That's crazy.
It is. I want to cover it because the fuckery. Sorry.
Okay, so are you guys ready for the Mad Lib? Let's check this out, what we got. I'm afraid last night Patrick passed away. It's assumed they were in a plane crash by Florida. Their clothes were found by a pile of baseball bats. Life insurance is questioning their family of 9, including Molly, who was their only friend in life.
Aw, Molly. She was in on it.
Forgive me, it's my first Mad Lib, so I didn't do it perfect.
We do our best.
We do our best. We're amateurs.
I feel like we're pretty damn good for what we're doing here.
I have like a million click tabs to do.
Right? Lord? Like, without you, the show would be like nothing. So
Not true.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
I'm just running the Streamlabs. If you've ever seen the movie Kill the Messenger, the guy who it was about killed himself by shooting himself twice in the head with a revolver. Like double tap with a revolver? Suicide, really? Yeah.
Wow. I hate that. It happens a lot. It's just like suicide. I'm like, clearly not. The fuck are you? Are you serious? Come on. All right.
Okay, so next story. I know I'm going to butcher these words, but we're going to be covering Noella Rukundu.
Good luck.
Yes. I'm very uncultured, aren't I?
I can't even pronounce basic crap. It's all right.
Now this one's interesting, and I kept reading the story and thinking it has to be faked, but I kept finding more and more evidence showing this was true. There's video evidence of her talking and doing interviews, and it's just nuts. So Noella's husband hired a hitman to take his wife out while visiting Burundi. While in her hotel room, her husband called and suggested she should get some air. When she leaves the hotel, a man with a gun approaches her and forces her into her car. She's later placed in a warehouse tied to a chair, but lucky for her, These men didn't actually believe in killing women or children, if children were on the hit list, which I hope they're not.
Well, goddamn, Jesus Christ.
They have
All
a
right.
code.
Wow.
But they were
At least
also,
there's that.
Right. But they were also friends with her brother. So they asked her why her husband wanted her dead, but she had no answer. After 2 days, they decided to set her free on the side of a road, but not before giving her a cell phone, recordings of their phone conversations with her husband, and a receipt for the 7,000 in Australian dollars they allegedly received in payment, which of course
These
they kept.
motherfuckers are amazing. Are you serious?
Apparently they pumped him out for extra money too. So I think it was 5,000. They got
yeah.
an extra 2,000 afterwards, even though they knew they weren't going to
Nice.
do the hit. So kudos to these honorable hitmen, I guess.
I guess.
Chaos gods, I'm not sure.
I mean, the standards are not great, so I mean, we're taking what we can get at this point.
Now
With the hitmen.
she contacts the embassy, she contacts her priest back home and kind of lets them in on a little bit of what's going on, but tell them she gets it to somehow stay secret. So within 5 days, she gets back home in Australia, and she makes the grandest entrance of all, arriving at the end of her own funeral. Oh, what's this?
Fuck yeah.
Hey, date night, thank you for the raid.
Woo! Thank you.
But yeah, so she makes the grandest entrance of all, arriving at the end of her own funeral to the shock of her husband. So after all
That's
that,
amazing.
It's amazing, right? She's just like, she waits till everyone leaves and she just walks right up as he's leaving the church. This woman is amazing.
I love it.
And if you hear her speak too, she's like the sweetest sounding woman of like, oh, this marriage was no
She
good.
looks
God
so
will send me
nice.
another one. And it's just like, he tried to kill you. Sweetheart.
God, that's Aww.
So after all this is the crazy, well, not the craziest, but this is another crazy part. He is actually only jailed for 9 years. Like, she could have died. And even more concerning is he had a deceased wife and son, apparently killed by a rebel army. So, nice cover story, bro. I don't buy it.
Jesus. My God.
Ah, thank you for the follow, Lava.
Woo! Nice. Thank you.
I love that. The comments are great. How the fuck are you still alive? Rolls up to the church. Hey, why is everyone crying? What do you mean I'm dead? See, she should have done an even bigger prank like that.
I love it. It was, oh my God, it's beautiful. Could you imagine? Oh man.
This woman is a god, honestly. It's amazing.
Right?
And like, even weirder is like the hitman told her, like, you need to go tell a woman not to be so stupid. Not to trust their husbands. It's like, I'm like, okay, I don't know how she would have known that, but. So yeah, if you're in a hotel away from home in a different country, maybe don't go get some air if your husband suggests it, or wife.
I guess.
Women do it
yeah.
too. And make sure your life insurance is shit. My husband's screwed. It is an ongoing joke. It's pretty funny. And then I always tell him the opposite of like, if I die, I'm not worth the life insurance, man. Keep me around. I'm worth more value this way.
I make you food. It's great.
I babysit. You know how much childcare
There
costs? But yeah, the best way to get life insurance is honestly just for the jokes. If you have the right partner.
I love it. I also do have the right partner. It would be epic. So
They're the best jokes. Actually, date night dorking, do you make those jokes too? I should actually, now that they're here, I've been forgetting my shout out duties. Date night dorking.
because this stuff is so ridiculous that we're just like, the fuck, guys.
Yeah, no, they're a
Look at
great
this.
couple. They do streaming together for date nights, and they play things like Mario and Friday the 13th. They're really cute and funny.
Aw.
Halloween, they dressed up as Mario and Luigi.
I love it.
And they even took, like, last week off. They took Friday off just to play Friday together all day.
I missed Friday the 13th and I was so sad. I like didn't even realize the entire day, and it was like the 14th, and I was like, the fuck? I'm I'm literally legit disappointed, I'm not gonna lie.
Now, what's the next story? Let's see. We have Summer covering Ken Kesey.
Yes. It's short, but it's a doozy. It packs a lot in a little bit.
Oh yeah, I almost covered this one. I like it.
I love it. It's amazing. So Ken Kesey was a popular author in the 60s, and as such, he obviously did an absolute shitload of drugs. Like, literally, one of the things he's noted for is taking a buttload of drugs on a road trip that he took with his cult. Alright, sorry, I mean followers. Like, that's his words. He calls them followers. And he's also pretty famous for writing One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So, there's that. Makes sense. His followers are called the Merry Pranksters, and they were doing LSD and traveling across the country on a bus called Further, and having people try LSD for themselves. So, yikes. There's that. On this road trip he took with his followers, in 1965, he was arrested in California for marijuana possession, which is literally the least terrible drug that he was doing at the time. So good job, I guess, guys. He handled this very normally, like a very normal person, by faking his own death and having his followers leave his truck on a cliffside road with a note written by them that said, "Ocean, ocean, I'll beat you in the end."
Best suicide note ever.
It really is, I must say. Then he just absconded in the back of his friend's car to Mexico for 8 months. And, to just casually returned later after 8 months and was sentenced to 6 months in jail on January 17th, 1966. 2 days after he was sentenced to 6 months in jail, he was arrested again for smoking on the rooftop of his friend Stuart Brand's home. Just the absolute mad lad. It's amazing.
Wow.
Right?
Rebel.
After his release from jail, he returned to his family farm and just wrote articles and books that were just collections of articles and short stories until he died. But reading up on this guy, you could probably make like several streams on his craziness. Like, did I mention that the entire road trip was inspired by MK Ultra?
What?
Like,
I did not know that.
He was a guinea pig in that before he wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which kind of explains a lot, really.
What? Okay, I think we're going to have a special show just for him.
I really do. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, damn, this goes deep.
And can I just say it's sad that he passed away before weed was legalized?
Right? I was like, what? This dude's a thing? I love it.
Jeez. Aww.
And like every picture is amazing. By the way, I don't know if you guys are watching the slideshow, but personally, this is probably my favorite thing, just finding all the pictures. There's one that I love particularly and want to be memed. And I don't know if it's shown up already, probably has.
Which one is that?
But the one with him like scrunching his face, looking really super weird. I don't know how to describe it. If it pops up, I'll be like, that one, it needs to be a meme. I'm just saying. I love it completely, and I'm like, I'm gonna use that as a reaction.
Maybe eventually we'll add it as an emoji.
I want it. I'm not gonna. Please.
That'd be amazing. Well,
I want to like send it to you. Let me hold on. No, it has to be here, right?
I got it.
I don't know.
It'll pop.
It's a weird picture, and I can't really
it's not
describe
that one, is it?
No, but I love this one. It's this one.
Okay,
yeah.
So the one with the weird eyes.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to put it, yeah. It reminded me of, like, the gif of that one guy from the movie, like, Trolls or whatever, I think it was. Where he's all like, whoa! That's what it reminded me of.
Okay.
I need it.
Now, we forgot to cover this, but It's never too late. I wanted to cover the word of the day because we keep finding interesting sayings every single time we do these shows. And so we found one interesting today, and it's pseudocide, which is to fake your own suicide, usually for personal gain. So their example is, I bet if you committed suicide, you'd sell more records.
I love it. Suicide is the best word for this, really.
It's great. So tomorrow your goal is to try and use it in a sentence.
There you go.
Learn a new word a day, people. Pseudocide is
Come
today's
back
word.
next week and tell us how it went with the pseudocyde.
Just drop it randomly.
Don't commit it.
Talk to your teacher. Talk to your boss. Just drop it in there.
Hey, you ever think about committing pseudocide? I do. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what I'm doing anymore with my life.
Well, that leads us to the next section, which is how to fake your own death.
Woo! I'm here for it now. I'm serious. I'm joking, guys. I promise.
It's fun to dream. Maybe when I'm 80.
Yes.
Just for the bucket list.
Yes.
Not because of massive debt.
Oh, I'm dying.
So I learned a few interesting things. So I researched with there's some experts that talked about people who do the investigations, and there was also that woman Elizabeth Greenwood at the beginning, who wrote the book about it.
Yes.
And so I got some information from that. So apparently the easiest country to do this is in the Philippines. So you can get so you can get death certificate and an autopsy report within 48 hours, and all you need is a connection to a corrupt doctor.
Well, all right.
That's all you need. You go to the embassy, you can file and get an official statement of your death, and it's good all across the world.
Yay.
Right. Interesting, huh? So if you know someone who died in the Philippines, raise an eyebrow.
Possibly.
According to some officials, there are also countries where you can acquire an official death kit. And it includes death certificates and even funeral footage with an open casket. Like, I don't know if they Photoshop it somehow, do some kind of magic editing. But yeah, they'll give you funeral footage.
They bring you in, they throw some makeup on, they film it, they're like, good to go. All right.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
I want to get into that business.
But apparently the investigators, they say they get these all the time, and this is pretty common in a few countries. They didn't name which ones. I'm assuming Philippines is one of them. Now, if you do fake a death in these areas, it's as easy as it is. It gives off a huge red flag to the investigators, and they just have to do a little digging. They already know where to go if you do this. So you have to hope you got like some really good people that won't crumble under pressure. Now, the next thing you do is you don't tell anyone, because a lot of times they get found out because they tell their spouse or some kind of loved one.
Tell no one.
Tell no one.
Just leave.
Yeah.
That's it.
There is actually a story of a guy who faked his own death, and his kids found him. They were visiting a country where he had invaded, and they're at a party, and they found their dad there.
Oh, those poor kids.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry.
It's even worse because the wife knew, and she was funneling money to him, and the kid was helping her because you help your mom transfer funds from bank accounts. So the kids got roped into it when they got found out.
Oh.
Especially since they didn't tell the authorities right away. So.
Wow.
Don't tell anyone, and if you do get found out, like if someone sees you, just be like, I'm
Run.
a look
I
like
don't
that
know.
person. Yeah, I'm a lookalike. It happens. Now, the next thing you should do is pay off all your debts. If you're filing bankruptcy, if you're shifting finances around, taking things out, they're going to be extremely suspicious. That's a huge red flag. And who cares? Why would you file for bankruptcy? You're about to fake your own death.
Right?
And now, whatever you do, I'm assuming, this is my own input, is don't delete your internet history, because I would think that's a huge red flag. If someone deletes their internet history, they knew. They're gone. They did it on purpose. And besides, the authorities can really get that information if they wanted to.
There's literally no point in deleting shit Like, just give it up.
They gotcha. They
Every
already
criminal
got
out there, every criminal out there trying to plot some shit, like, I don't know why you're even using your computer, to be quite honest, or your smartphone, or anything else. It's pretty dumb. Just say it. They will find you.
I just hope I never come under investigation in my scenario. I'm just like,
right?
I don't think anyone's going to pinpoint me
you Googled
unless
this
I'm under
weird ass shit
investigation.
about like some murder, and I'm all, no, I do a show.
Yeah, that's a meme in itself. It's ignore my internet history. I'm a writer, or I watch true crime. I'm not playing to
I
kill
have
anyone.
Googled some weird shit. It happens.
It happens. Everyone has some. In fact, share it in the comments if you want to tell us what your weirdest search is. Private investigators can pay for your ISP for your internet history. Oh, jeez.
That's great.
That's terrifying, and I think I might sign up for this service because I have a lot of friends that want to
PIs,
snoop
you know,
on
that's
summer.
great. Definitely want a PI digging things.
I swear, a PI is probably like the craziest life if you get into all those weird.
I want to be a PI. I'm not gonna lie.
You would make a good PI.
Literally my dream.
That'd be great.
Yay! Aw. Yes.
I would definitely help you. I could be that person who comes in and gives some weird speech.
Oh yeah.
And
You're gonna be
smokes some
like
cigars.
my fucking yeah. Yes.
That totally sounds
Oh
bad
my god, it
character,
has to
actually.
happen.
I'll do something. I'm not useless.
Yes. No, I would love it. Oh my god, we gotta start a detective agency.
Hilarious. The creepy kitties detectives.
Yes. Yes.
Trademark.
Oh,
you guys
God.
don't do it. You can't pull off the cat ears like we can.
Yeah, it's yes. We're the only ones that can do that.
No. Now the next thing you aren't supposed to do is, or you are supposed to do, they suggest, is you should try and make it look like a suicide, because there's less investigation. Now
it's true.
It is. It's less investigation. If there's no homicide, there's less investigation.
I've seen so many. They're like, it's a suicide, man, and that's it. It's just like
it's done.
Fucking no. It wasn't. It was not.
Yeah.
I
Now,
hate you.
The investigators suggest drowning as the best suggestion, especially since it's more time consuming. But eventually the judge will say this person hasn't turned up, no body's turned up. Here's an official death certificate. So
I will suggest drowning in the ocean because you can't just drain the ocean.
Right.
Right? Out at sea, you drown. There you go.
It's actually interesting. So there's actually a belief that for the San Francisco Bridge, that a quarter of the 1,600 suicides might have actually been faked.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You mean the place that has the most suicides ever?
Yeah, so it's possible 25% of those are faked. Like, can they actually get real statistics on that? But that's their suspicion. I guess there's an investigation, and someone probably claimed bankruptcy and disappeared. You know.
That's interesting.
And now I told you about the easiest place to fake your own death. Now the next one is the hardest place to be found afterwards, which is the Ukraine. Apparently you don't need any ID for all the basic needs like electricity and water, so you can hide out pretty easy. But
what the fuck?
You gotta go under the table, you gotta be in the cold. There's all these issues that go with it.
You just don't need shit to go do whatever. You don't need nothing. That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, you can just
I'm astounded by this. I'm sorry. What the fuck?
It's pretty interesting, yeah. But then, of course, ditch social media, use cash, Try not to get caught.
I can't just leave social media. Have you seen? I'm a fucking wreck.
Hey, Sam. Welcome to the chat.
Hi.
But yeah, so that was like how you fake your own death. So Philippines to Ukraine, if you're traveling the world, you gotta get those funds first, even though you're in massive debt.
This stream has been amazing. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and of course, just like last time, don't do it. We strongly advise against it.
We will always tell you not to do whatever it is that we're talking about. That's how you be responsible, guys, boys and
Don't
girls.
do it.
Don't
But
do
if
it.
you do it, tell us. Tell us how. How it goes. But don't
Hi!
do it.
Hello! Hello.
But yeah, so I think, do we have any more stories? I think that's about it. So,
I mean, there's like a billion that we could have covered, but like Aleister Crowley, like fucking faked his death at one point to escape some chick. Like literally, that was it. He was like, "Fuck this, I'm out," and he was like, "I could never live without you." Left a suicide note, and she was like, "The fuck," and that was it. I don't know. There's tons. There's so
there
many.
Are.
I could bring up like 10 right now on my phone. I've looked for days. I changed my subjects like 10 times. Guys, I mean, you are looking at faking your death, it's out there. There's plenty of examples to pick from. Amazingly.
It's, yeah, and some of them I think we decided to cover more on like a one-on-one basis because they're just too elaborate. And
yeah,
we wanted to get to bed tonight at some point.
Yeah,
so.
there was a couple that I'm like, nah, these people need their own video because this is insane.
Yes.
One in particular, I really want to cover sometime. I know you know the one I'm talking about.
Yes, of course. It's going to be great. Now,
it is.
I do want to say next week, we're going to be, we're still going to be on schedule. I think Summer's going to be joining me on Topic Tuesday next week. It is Christmas Eve, so we totally understand.
And we're both moms, but we're still doing this because we love you.
Aw, thank you, Poetry in the Water.
Oh, yay!
But yeah, so next week we're going to switch it up and we're going to do a Christmas-themed episode. So we aren't quite sure what we're going to cover, but we're going to dig in.
You want some, anybody got some suggestions in the comments? Like, go ahead, like, say something, maybe? A suggestion for the Christmas stream.
Seriously, and we'll probably see if there's any deaths on Christmas. What was it, Krampus? It would be fun to go into that history.
Oh God, Krampus. Woo!
And then
I mean, we could.
We could. We're going to just see what pops out at us, and we'll fall into a hole like always and narrow it down.
Apparently. Sorry.
We consume a lot of information every week. It's pretty fun.
We really do, guys. My brain is always broken at this point. I'm just like, there's so much going on in there.
I love it. It's great. But
there's some times where you're like, hey, I have this story, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be super cool, and then you read it, and I'm like, oh, I knew this, but my brain forgot it because I've done 10,000 things today.
That or we've only hit like the little iceberg, the tip of the iceberg of it, and then we realized there's a whole bunch more than we originally thought.
Yes.
Like Chef and Scientology.
Oh, that's happened so many times now. I'm like, fuck. It's a good story, but now there's too much to the story. It's gotta be its own story.
Okay, Poetry is voting for Krampus. Love it.
I guess Krampus is the thing. We're doing it. I don't know.
Yeah,
yes,
let's make that official.
Krampus.
We're going to cover that a little bit next week because I only know a little bit, mostly because of The Office.
I know. I know literally nothing at all. Like, I think I heard the name Krampus from like pop culture, and that's about it.
Yeah,
that's all I know. There's my extent, but I'll be finding out because that's what we do this for. We do it to dive into this stuff, and it's fun.
Oh, Hardwire, we'll find more. We'll find more Christmas-related ones. I think what was it, missing people cases the other week? That was a Christmas night story too.
There's a heavy one, but I don't know. I don't know if it's too heavy.
Krampus-themed death metal burlesque show once. Awesome.
The fuck?
No, they have some amazing performance arts.
It's amazing. I'm just astounded that's a thing that exists. I'm not talking. I'm just like, wow. All right.
So we're going to do the Christmas special next week. Hopefully, Summer Kitty will join me. She'll
I will be joining.
You will.
By the
Okay,
way.
good. It's confirmed.
Officially.
We're on next week. And then on Monday, I'm going to be playing this game Akamato, which is like a Japanese ghost story thing, where it's like this ghost hunts the bathrooms. I haven't played it at all yet, and the reviews seem decent. So I'm going to check it out, see if it's any good. If not, we can make fun of it. Sorry, developers. But
I need to like share with you my spooky games. I have a spooky game like selection as well. We need to like do some spooky gaming together. That would be
amazing. Actually, I got, you know what? I should probably do a shout out for this. Hopefully I remember how to spell his name, even though he's not her or here. Words are her, guys. Her, here, whatever. I'm going to do a shout out to Virtute, because he gifted me a VR game. What was it, like 2 nights ago, where you go through a haunted house and the audience can control the jump scares.
Girl,
So
no, I've been
that-
wanting to see this so bad. You have no idea. I'm here for it.
So that's going to be on the schedule at some point soon. Or on my other channel. I don't know if you guys know, but I also have another channel, just me, where I do a little more sunshiny things. It's called Rainbow Paint.
I love it.
So yeah, I think that's about it. Actually, you know what? Let's do one more celebration, because for anyone who joined in near the end, we hit our 50 follower goal today. Woo! So we have now become officially affiliates. So we gotta get that emote
Which
going.
is crazy. I'm in shock, honestly, still at this point. Yeah. Woo! All right.
Yay!
I love it.
Lots going on in that celebration, but I don't care.
I'm so happy.
I don't know if anyone recognized the 3 different movie reference or show references or media references. Yeah, media references.
It's fine. No.
There's a lot going on there.
I dig it.
We got our It balloons, salad fingers.
I noticed.
And then Dead Alive the Musical is the song going on in the background.
We love all things creepy and awesome.
All weirdness. But yeah, I do want to say, before we start doing a raid, I want to give a big thank you for everyone who's been here since the beginning, everyone who's just joined, everyone that's coming in to chime in and enjoy our stream.
Thank you.
Yes, it's, we're 2 friends. We both like these kind of creepy topics. And
a lot.
Yeah, and Summer used to do YouTube on this, and her other partner fell out of contact pretty much, or there's a fallout, I don't know, but the YouTube stopped coming, and I said, this Twitch thing is pretty amazing, and we both have different expertise in all the creepy stuff. She loves true crime, yes. I love ghosts and aliens, and I was like, together, I think we'd make a really good team. So.
And it's actually been pretty fucking awesome.
It has. I get to talk to you all the time now, which I love.
I love it.
Always stuff to talk about and share. So,
I love it so much.
And I'm sure anyone who really likes this type of stuff knows that friends who like horror stuff, creepy stuff, is not the easiest to come by. You'll find someone, especially a bubbly person like me, you'll find other bubbly people.
You are the sweetest, most bubbliest person ever, and it's amazing. The contrast, it's crazy awesome.
It's juxtaposition.
I love it.
Another word of the day. But
use it, guys. It's a great word.
It's a great word. But yeah, so anyone else got stories to add or something to say before we raid you off somewhere else?
Y'all say whatever you want, because you're awesome. All right.
Let's see. I'm figuring out who to raid next. Okay, you know what? Let's go with something a little goofy, a little fun. Yes, he's playing Friday. Okay, so there is a streamer who is wonderful. Thanks, Darko.
Thank you.
So his name's JT Lormand, And he plays Friday the 13th, and he gets a group of people, and they all go dance, and he DJs 80s music while they dance. And
Are you
sometimes Casey will
serious?
join
That's
in.
awesome.
It's fantastic. So I'm
love
going to
it.
send you off to him because he is so fun and always includes me in their games.
Aw.
Let's see, JT Lormont.
I
But
love
yeah,
it.
have fun, guys, and sit around for a bit. Check it out; it's hilarious. Have a good night, everyone.
You too. Bye, guys.